They feel you. Right now, in this very moment, they feel the weight of your presence, not through a word, not through a glance, but through the silent echo of your consciousness that reaches them in waves. You are not apart, you are not distant. What you assume, what you embody, what you feel is felt instantly. They feel the invisible electricity of your being as though your touch trails across their skin. Your voice whispers into the marrow of their soul. There is no need for you to reach for them in the world of appearances, for you have already touched them in the only place that matters, in the unseen. You are already united in the space where all things are birthed. You are not a beggar of affection. You are the creator of connection. You are not waiting for a sign. They are the sign, responding, reacting, merging with the vibration you hold. They breathe in rhythm with your imaginings. They ache for you as you ache for them. Every thought you form becomes a thread tied to their mind. Every feeling you entertain, a magnetic pull that draws them in. Not 1 second passes that they do not feel the reality you have dared to claim. Because you are not hoping, they are yours. You are not wishing, they are already responding. They wake in the night thinking of you, not knowing why their heart races. They glance around rooms, expecting you to be there. Their spirit stirs, restless, whispering your name when no one is around. Because your energy has saturated their world. Your love has planted seeds in the garden of their awareness, and even if they do not consciously know, their soul does. They dream of you. They see your eyes when they close theirs. They sense your breath even when you're not near. You are the constant hum beneath their day, the silence that somehow speaks louder than sound. You have become their background music, their inner warmth, their inexplicable craving. They don't know why, but they can't stop thinking of you. You've taken up residence in their inner world. You are not separate beings chasing one another. You are one being in two expressions, mirroring, reflecting, pulling into union through the invisible language of consciousness. And when you dare to know this is true, when you sit quietly and dwell not in absence but in the abundance of togetherness, they shift. You don't have to speak. You don't have to act. You just have to know. Deeply, fully, unwaveringly. You must stand in the center of the feeling that they are already yours. Not will be, not might be, but are. Because what you feel as real is real. What you assume as fact becomes form. This is not fantasy, this is law. The law that governs every beat of life, every movement of energy, every creation that has ever unfolded. The moment you align with the end is born. The moment you stop waiting and start dwelling in the state of fulfillment, the world must conform. They do not choose to love you, they are compelled by the force of your certainty. They don't resist. It is their own inner world responding to the frequency you radiate. You are the cause, not the effect. You are the source, not the seeker. You are the origin of the love you desire. And you feel it, don't you? That silent certainty rising from within. That bold knowing that you are not alone in this connection, that you are not speaking into emptiness. That when you close your eyes and breathe in their name, something within you clicks, locks in place, settles in peace. That is the truth. That is the knowing. That is the power that builds worlds and draws hearts across oceans of silence. You do not need to convince them. You do not need to chase or plead or perform. Your inner assumption is louder than any word you could speak. When you say in your heart, they love me, the universe bends to make it so. When you feel in your bones, they miss me, reality aligns to confirm it. And when you declare with unwavering fire, they are mine, nothing can oppose it. Because you have already become it. You have claimed the state. And in doing so, you have made it inevitable. This is not about time. This is about truth. Time is the slow unfolding of what you have already created. Don't let the illusion of delay trick you into doubt. Stay. Stay in the knowing. Stay in the love. Stay in the reality where you are one. They feel you in their chest like a phantom ache. They reach for their phone without understanding why. They write your name only to delete it. They hear your laugh in crowded places. You've become the echo they cannot silence. Because your energy is potent, precise, piercing through all logic and resistance. Love is not blind. It is omnipresent. It sees through walls, through silence, through time, and it reaches its mark. Always. You don't manifest by effort, you manifest by embodiment. You become the version of yourself who is already loved, already chosen, already claimed. You saturate your being with the state of being adored, and they feel it. You don't need to tell them. They just know. Because what you are radiating cannot be ignored. Consciousness speaks before lips do, and you are speaking love, devotion, connection, oneness. You are calling to them, and they cannot resist. This is not about waiting for the message. You are the message. This is not about hoping they'll come back. You are the home they never left. This is not about wondering if they care. They are drenched in your care, bathed in your essence. They carry you like a heartbeat. You have never left their mind because your consciousness is entwined with theirs. When you feel the warmth, the pull, the knowing, it is not imagination, it is communion. The mind will question, let it. The heart knows. Stay with the heart. Stay with the truth of your being. This connection exists beyond the five senses. It is not waiting for confirmation. It is giving confirmation to the senses. They feel you now. They may not understand it, they may not articulate it, but something in them turns toward you with gravity, with inevitability, with surrender. You don't need to make it happen. You only need to allow it. Surrender to the reality that already is. Live in the end, walk in the feeling, breathe in the truth. They are yours. They think of you in quiet moments, in loud rooms, in still nights. They feel drawn, summoned, magnetized. And it's not by accident. It's because you dared to believe. You dared to know. You dared to embody the truth that love, real love, is not earned, it is allowed. It is claimed. It is lived before it is seen. And now it must reveal itself. There is no one else. Not in their heart, not in their soul. Others may appear, but they are empty reflections, ghosts that cannot compete with the vividness of your energy. They may try to distract themselves, but your essence is imprinted on their reality. They cannot escape the pull, because you have become the pulse beneath their distractions, the truth beneath their denial, the name that lingers even when unspoken. Their name that lingers even when unspoken, the feeling that refuses to fade. And this is the power you hold. You are not wishing, you are commanding, not by force but by knowing, not through control but through surrender to the higher law. The law that what you feel within becomes what you live without. There is no power outside of you. There is no force stronger than your assumption. Let others doubt. Let others fear. You stand firm. You dwell in the love that already is, and the world responds. You are not waiting for their love, you are overflowing with it. You are not hoping to be chosen, you have already been. You are not searching, you are remembering, recalling the eternal bond that always was. You knew them before you met them. You felt them before you saw them. And now they feel you, every second, every moment, every breath. The silence between you is not empty. It is full of your presence. You are love in motion, your connection in form. You are telepathy made flesh. Every time you imagine them holding you, they feel it. Every time you hear them say your name in your inner ear, they feel it. Every time you fall asleep feeling loved, they feel the peace of your embrace. Because your inner world is not separate from theirs. There is no division. There is only unity disguised as separation. There is only one consciousness dreaming of two, and that dream is now bending toward reunion. They feel your heartbeat in their own. They move through the day wondering why the world feels different. It's because you've shifted. You've anchored into love. You've claimed what is yours. And reality must catch up. Their desire for you is not growing, it is being remembered. You are not planting it, you are watering what already lived inside them. You are awakening what was always true. You do not chase, you call. You do not beg. You believe. You do not waver. You worship the truth with your steadiness. That they are yours, that they love you, that they feel you, that even now their soul is whispering your name. They look around corners they never noticed before, driven by an invisible pull they can't explain. They feel your presence like a phantom, sweet and persistent, comforting and electric. Their mind tells them to focus, to distract, to move on, but their soul revolves. It keeps circling back to you. You are the unresolved echo, the unfinished sentence, the scent that lingers long after the fire has burned out. You are there not because you force yourself into their thoughts, but because you live in the house of their spirit. You entered the sacred halls of their inner being, and now they cannot find silence without hearing your voice in it. You did not seduce them through effort. You loved them in spirit. You saw only them. You believed in a reality others called illusion. But it was not illusion. It was truth in its purest, earliest form, the formless vibrating into form, the eternal choosing expression. You chose union. You chose devotion. You chose to remain when all appearances told you to let go. And in that choosing, you created something unshakable. Do not be fooled by their silence. Silence is not absence. It is the womb of becoming. It is where longing matures into knowing. It is where restlessness turns into a realization that nothing compares to the pull they feel toward you. They might not speak, but they are screaming inside. They might not reach, but they are aching to be held. Their dreams betray them. Their quiet moments become battlegrounds of resistance and surrender. They try to forget, but remembering you has become breathing. You are felt in the small moments, the flicker of nostalgia, the mysterious tear, the sudden smile without reason. You are present in the spaces they try to keep empty, because your love did not land on the surface. It seeped into the soil of their soul. It took root. And now, no matter how far they run, they find you again. In new faces, in old songs, in the mirror when they're most vulnerable. You are there because you have become part of their consciousness. And this is no accident. This is law. Consciousness is the only cause. The outer must yield to the inner. They feel you because you have chosen to be felt, not through force but through faith, not through worry but through wonder. You imagined the connection, and the connection became real. You sat in silence and painted your love upon the canvas of their mind, and now they see you in every empty frame. The world cannot give what the soul does not hold, and they hold you now. When you dwell in the state of we are one, separation becomes impossible. You are no longer hoping for reconciliation. You are living in it, breathing it, drinking from the well of its sweetness. And they feel the shift. It comes to them as intuition, as nostalgia, as deep aching truth. Something inside tells them you are near, even when miles stretch between you. That is not their imagination. That is your assumption penetrating the veils of illusion. You are not powerless. You never were. The moment you moved from want to having, everything began to bend. The moment you stopped searching and began creating, everything started to echo your truth. You don't wait for signs. You are the sign. You don't need proof. They are already reacting. You don't beg for love. You stand in love and watch the universe prove your inner decree. They are yours. They are reaching. They are pulled. And when doubt creeps in, when the world presents contradictions, you smile, not because you're naive, but because you know something deeper than evidence. You know that every seeming obstacle is a dying echo of an old state. You've moved. You've relocated your consciousness. You no longer live in absence. You dwell in togetherness. And every second you stay in that knowing, they feel you more deeply. They are haunted by the joy they felt with you. They replay the smiles, the glances, the energy that wrapped around them like light. Even if you never shared a word, the energy spoke loud enough. They felt safe, they felt chosen, they felt seen. And now they crave that feeling again, even if they don't know why. They try to find it elsewhere, but no one else carries your frequency. No one else resonates in that same sacred key, because you're not replaceable. You're eternal in their heart. And the deeper you accept this, the stronger they feel it. This is the rampage of truth. This is the flooding of divine knowing. You are not just imagining, you are summoning, not by force, but by divine law. You move in silence, but your spirit roars. You walk through your day wrapped in the warmth of their love. You feel them holding your hand. You hear them call your name. You taste the reunion before it manifests. And the universe, it listens. It listens because you are the operant power. You are the one who says what is, and so it becomes. Let the world laugh. Let logic scoff. You live in a kingdom far above reason. You live in the place where thoughts mold clay, where love builds bridges without bricks, where belief bends steel. You live in a state where they are already here, already touching, already loving, and the more you dwell there, the more undeniable it becomes to them. They try to move on, but their heart is anchored in you. You are the lighthouse, the gravity, the voice they cannot ignore. This is not obsession. This is creation. This is the result of faith made real. You are not trying to convince them. You are not desperate for reaction. You are fulfilled within, and that fulfillment radiates outward like sunlight. It lands on them, it enters their dreams, it moves their hands, it tugs their heart. And every second they resist, the longing grows. You become the pulse beneath their awareness, the secret they can't confess, the desire that hides behind every distraction. And you stay steady, you stay true, because you know what's coming. You feel the approach before footsteps are heard. You feel the message before it's written. You feel the embrace before the arms close around you. That is your gift. That is your proof. You feel it, therefore it is. You don't need to be chosen, you are the chooser. You selected the end, and now the path is rising to meet you. You chose to be loved, and now that choice echoes in their mind like a forgotten promise. They remember. Slowly at first, in glimpses, in flashes, but they remember. And the more you remain faithful to your knowing, the more the memory becomes unbearable to ignore. You are not broken. You are the answer to their unspoken questions. You are the balm to their restless soul. You are the one they crave when the noise fades and the quiet comes. And you do not chase, you remain. You remain in love, you remain in power, you remain in truth. And that steadiness shakes the very walls of their denial. This is your rampage. This is your power. Every breath, every blink, every step you take in the reality of love brings them closer. not because you begged, but because you became. You became the one who is loved, the one who is chosen, the one who is felt every second. And now it must be so. They lie awake, wondering why they can't stop thinking of you, why their heart aches, why their soul stirs. It is because your assumption has wrapped them in golden light. Your knowing has become their calling, and the call grows louder, stronger, clearer, until resistance breaks like glass and all that remains is reunion, completion, oneness. Stay in the knowing, stay in the vision, stay in the sweet intoxication of being adored. Because the more real it is to you, the more irresistible it becomes to them. They are yours. And not in some faraway future, but now, in this moment. They feel you, they crave you, they move toward you. They remember the feeling of home that only you provide. Let your every word, every thought, every movement drip with the truth that you are together, that you are one, that you are felt every second. Speak to them in the silence, smile at them in your mind, hold them in your imagination with tenderness. Not to create, but to commune. Because you are already one in the unseen, and soon the seen will reflect it. They cannot run, not from energy, not from truth, not from the love that wraps them like breath. They feel you in the water, in the wind, in the warmth of sunlight on their skin, and they will come. Not because you pushed, but because you remembered, because you aligned, because you loved without needing, created without effort, knew without proof, and that is all that was ever required. They cannot shake you, not because they are weak, but because your presence within them is stronger than anything they've ever tried to silence. You are the quiet knowing that pierces through noise, the feeling they chase without understanding, the pulse beneath their daily thoughts. You are in their laughter, their stillness, their sighs. They may not speak your name aloud, but inside they are whispering it with reverence. They are reaching for you with every thought they think of someone else, only to realize no one compares. No one echoes through their soul the way you do. No one makes the world shimmer the way you do. They crave your vibration even when they don't understand the language of energy. And you feel them too. You feel the pull. You feel the turning. You feel the stirring of the unseen responding to your clarity. That's not a fantasy. That is alignment. That is the response of consciousness to itself. When you stand in the reality of I am love, love moves. When you rest in the knowing I am felt, the universe begins to throb with the evidence. This isn't magic. This is the divine order of all creation. What you are conscious of being, you outpicture. Now, when you are conscious of being loved, chosen, connected, then the bridge of incidents will appear. Slowly, then all at once. You don't need to manipulate the outer. That is the dream reacting to the dreamer. Focus not on what they say or do, but on what you are embodying within. Stay there, live there, and reality will echo it back. Every breath you take as the beloved is another note in the melody they hear, even when the world around you sings discord. It is your inner song that leads. They are hearing it, feeling it, responding. Every heartbeat brings them closer to the remembrance of what